We have a short amount of time to change your energy before you leave this day. And today is about changing your energy. When you change your energy, you change your life. And when you can radiate that energy into a state of being and maintain that modified state of mind and body in your world, you are now no longer living by cause and effect, but now causing an effect. And that is both free will and destiny simultaneously unfolding in one moment, because your free will to be somebody else is predetermining your outcome. How many people are with me? I have people that say to me, you know, I talk to my body and it's just not listening. It's still in pain. You don't talk to your body verbally. You don't talk to your body with thoughts. You talk to your body with feelings. Feelings are the language of the body. And remember the exercise we did yesterday when we talked about the proclivity for the body to live in a future moment because we've entrained it to be the mind of anticipating and expecting the next known familiar moment to unfold based on the past moment. How many people are with me? So your body has a propensity to a genetic timeline that's leading you to your genetic destiny because you're unfolding the next moment unconsciously because your body is the mind. Raise your hand if you're still with me. You can also linger in a mood based on an emotion because of some stray thought or something that happened in your life, and you've elongated that emotional reaction into a mood, and literally because you're anchored in that mood, you're anchored in the past because emotions are the memory of the past. So if emotions are the memory of the past and you're living in a mood, would you agree then, by just definition, your language of the body is drawing your body to the past? Are you with me still? Which means then your body's reinterpreting reality that it's in the past. Yes? And the language that you're signaling the body to live by emotionally is to keep it looking that way instead of towards the future. Then can you see then that your communication with the body in your meditation is the ability for you to slow the mind down, that analytical, critical mind that's evaluating every moment according to Newtonian laws to try to predict a familiar outcome. That your ability to slow it down into the conscious, divine moment through your ability allows you to begin to speak to it, to bring it into the present. And when you bring it into the present, what happens next? Are you accessing more potentials? Because the present moment means that your moment of the now allows you to access all potentials that exist simultaneously. Who's still with me? So can you then tell your person next to you why reality wouldn't unfold for you if you were doing a meditation and you were rushing through the meditation to hurry up and go to work? Isn't that just another thing you just added to your thing that you have to do so you could hurry up and do the next thing? Explain that, because I want you to know that if you send me an email and you tell me that it's not working for you, I'm going to sick Paula on you, who's going to sick Julie on you, and you're going to be in big trouble. Because I want you to know that if it takes you 4 hours to sit there and condition the body into the present moment, was it worth it? Because in that moment where you're in the now, are you in a place where you're accessing infinite information? So I want you to turn to the person next to you and I want you to tell them that if it takes you time to settle your body into the moment, that is a primary element in your ability to create. Because creation is about forgetting about the past and future. The moment is the only thing that matters. And when we're creating, you don't want the moment to end because it's too good. You know that feeling, yes? Turn to someone and explain it. And by the way, What is a great example of that? How about someone who's in a state of ecstasy playing the guitar and they're lost in the moment, and the feedback that they're getting while they're playing is reinforcing the moment, and they're falling into this place, and there's no time and space. So now, how many people here in the meditation said, I think I fell asleep. I think I was gone. Well, did you fall asleep, or did you become nobody, no thing, no time? Now, stay with me. The moment you lost track of time and space and you went into that moment of nothing, where you've lost your sense of self and identity, would you agree that the personality is now off the throne, who's thinking and feeling a certain way? And if the personality is off the throne, would you agree then that intelligence, that is you are an extension of, can finally bleed through you in a specific way? Or better yet, when you disappear, you're moving in and out of the quantum field. You just blipped into the quantum field, gained information, and came back. And what you gained was the last thought that you had before you left, which means you're now connected to that potential. And you visited it, but you don't remember it as a personality. And when you came back, your body registered because it absorbed the information. And so people would say, oh, I had this like spark of energy go off on the side of my head, or I felt this tingling in my back, or I felt this, boom, I started crying and I didn't know why. That's information being integrated into the physical form that appears to be solid, but all it is gravitationally organized energy that your body is now reintegrating into the matrix system of your cells. So, you're blipping in and out of the field 7.8 times per second, according to Schumann's constant. You're moving in and out of the field almost 8 times in a second. In a second. Whoa. And that's without drugs. Which means then, if you're in stasis, in a state of being that is predictable, are you gaining information that is the same based on the last thought you left with? If you're in stasis, you're coming back the same as you left, because you're bringing the information to the field and you're coming back with the same information. You change your state of being, and you go out and you come back, you bring information back. Because you are a gravitationally organized set of energy into patterns that is sending and receiving information. And that information that you're sending and receiving is based on how you think and feel. And how you think and feel creates a state of being. And your being is called your personality. And your personality is an accumulation of perceptions, beliefs, and attitudes that are created from your thoughts and emotions. Are you still with me? So then when you come into the field and you bring information into the field based on the last moment you left with, there are going to be times then when you do this meditation, when you have a change in consciousness, when you have a change in your state of being, there are going to be phenomenological results that are going to begin to be made manifest in your physical body. Whether it is you're going to have tears, whether you're going to have pain, whether you're going to have flashes of light, whether you're going to see Jesus, it doesn't matter. Something's going to happen. That was a joke, guys. Something's going to happen. I know it's Sunday morning. Oh, God. We need to get out of here right at noon. You're going to have an effect that takes place as a result of your shift, because you just went into the implicate order where all possibilities exist. And sometimes you go there and you stay for what you think is an extended time. And you have visions where you see an eye looking at you. Then you are the eye, and then you're looking out of the eye. And your ego brain is going, what in God's name is this? Whenever you have that experience in meditation, never fear it. Surrender to it, relax into it, and let it take you. because that new experience creates a new emotion that causes new circuits in your brain to organize themselves as a result of that experience. And now that you have those circuits in place, you're going to perceive reality differently because you're perceiving it from a new mind. So, if tears come to your eyes after a meditation and you release all this emotion, are you releasing energy? How long have you suppressed fear? How long have you suppressed confusion? How long have you suppressed frustration? How long have you suppressed emptiness or powerlessness? And your body is suffering because it thinks it's in the same experience all day long. And the moment the body has a second of liberation, it is a being. Your body has an intelligence. And what is it going to do the moment it's released from its chains? The energy is going to move right to your heart, and you're going to see things. You're going to see the stupidest movies or the simplest thing. And your body is going to release all that energy because that's suppressed energy that you and I don't think we're allowed to express because of social mores. But children, they move through emotions and they're done. And then they're done with it. You and I, we pack it down and layer it. And then the way we let it out in terms of steam is we all of a sudden blow up for some unknown reason on some poor helpless soul. Who made the wrong turn in front of you, So, when that happens, you should bless that moment because your body's being liberated. And don't ever try to analyze it when it's happening. Don't get your ego in the way. Don't even think. Let it go, and then when you're done, be done. Because a memory without an emotional charge is called wisdom, and that's our game here. To take those emotions and lower the volume to the emotional charge. So that when someone slides the chocolate cake in front of you, if you're addicted, you're going to salivate all over the place and throw a fit. But when you're no longer addicted to the chocolate cake, and you're no longer addicted to anger, or you're no longer addicted to pain, or you're no longer addicted to suffering, and you get around those people that typically push the emotional buttons, you can eat the cake or not eat it. You're going to have no emotional charge. And that's called peace. It's a piece of cake. We're in the quantum now. What's a belief? What's a belief? Isn't a belief a thought that's connected to a feeling that you continuously remember and revisit in your mind? And if you keep thinking and feeling the same way, thinking and feeling the same way, you create an attitude which ultimately forms into a belief. So we could say then beliefs, by very definition, have a thought component and a feeling component. Yes? And if you keep thinking a thought over and over again, nerve cells that fire together? So you have a neurological pattern of belief. Come on. And if you keep experiencing the same emotion over and over again, feelings are the language of the body, you're going to condition the body to memorize that emotion. So now you have a conditioning biologically in the cells. The body becomes the mind and has an emotional component to it. Are you with me still? So if beliefs are biological, then we would say they're neurological and chemical. Aren't they? And this is all the downward causation of consciousness. It's all the effects of consciousness. You still with me? So then if beliefs are biological and they're neurological and they're chemical, we would say then that they are even genetic. Isn't that the epiphenomenon? So then if they're genetic then, because there is an element of biology to them, if you were to change your beliefs about something, would you agree you'd change the way you think and feel, which would change your biology, which changes your neurocircuits, which changes your chemical expression emotionally, which changes your genetic expression? How many people here have had moments, either this weekend or in their life, when they're getting ready to change and they feel like they're stuck. And it feels like it's happening on a gut level. You know what I mean? A gut level? Because emotions and beliefs happen on a gut level. So what's the difference between my stallion, who all of a sudden lives in a paddock where there's an electrical fence and he got burned a few times, and I want to take him and put him in the stall, and he's looking at me like, on a gut level, I don't want to go through this. He thinks he's going to get stung again. So what most people do, they say, I want to be creative. I want to start a new business. I want to start a new life. And then they start off with that really great intention, and then on a gut level, they feel like they're frozen. How many people understand? Now, 99.9% of the people stop when they have that gut feeling because that's a memory from the past that's happening in the unconscious, because beliefs are unconscious. If you think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, and you condition the body to be the mind, your body becomes the mind, and the body is the unconscious mind. The moment the body is the mind, you go unconscious. You still with me? Now, stay with me a little bit longer here. If then you stop on that gut level, most people, they walk up to the fence and the body's bucking and it's kicking because you conditioned it to be afraid. And then what most people do is they stop right there, and you know what they do? They walk around the whole entire paddock. And they make sure they got everything all organized, and then they review it again, and then they analyze what they just did. Then they come right back up to it again and they go, we'll go this way this time. And they go around the paddock the other way and they come right to that point. Now, what would you tell that horse? What would you tell that horse? If it wants to go, you would say what? Let's go. And that horse is going to buck a little bit, and you're going to see its small-mindedness. And you're going to take that horse across to the other side. Now listen, when we do this process this morning, and I tell you to change your beliefs, you do not change these beliefs casually. You have to make up your mind. And when you make up your mind about a belief, it becomes an experience in that meditation, and you say no more. And when you get an electrochemical signal to your body where the hair on the back of your neck is standing up, your body is being conditioned in that moment, and it's getting a signal so that it remembers it greater than the old signal. And then when that feeling comes up, you're going to see it from a new landscape, from a new point of view. Because you're going to lower the volume to that gut feeling by bringing up an emotional feeling that has an electrical charge where you've made up your mind. Remember my example where most people decide to stand up? That's what change looks like. It's kind of a casual thing, change, you know? I'll change, wait right after I check out this show tomorrow. That's how people change. And so the body's not getting a signal. It's laying there knowing this guy's full of it. But when you, in your meditation, examine your beliefs and you look at what has been creating your life in a specific way, whatever your belief is, if it's about whatever, and you begin to realize that if you change your belief, it has to happen on a visceral level. It's got to make it to the cells. So when you say, I'm making up my mind about this belief, and we're going to repeat the thought and feeling enough times with an amplitude of energy so that your body doesn't forget it. You know, when you make up your mind about something in your life and you say, that is it, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care what anybody says or thinks. I don't care what's going on in my life. I don't care about how I feel. I don't care about any of that. I don't care how I'm doing this. You make up your mind like that, and people in your life get out of your way. That is the level of intensity that I'm talking about in terms of changing a belief. And that is like calling up that empowered entity that's sitting there waiting to be enacted. And so when you have that electrochemical signal where you make up your mind in the meditation, I want it to be an experience that has an emotional component to it so you don't forget it. And the moment that emotional component happens, your body is literally reorganizing itself biologically, neurologically, chemically, and genetically. When you change your beliefs, do you change your energy? Now, let me ask you a question. If you're at effect of your body, when the moment you start to feel that gut reaction that says, ooh, don't be too creative, don't be too successful, you're going to lose something in the process. If you're at effect of your body, what are you going to do? You're going to listen to that as if it's true, because it's gut and you can feel it, and if you can feel it, it's real. But if you're emanating another electromagnetic signature, and you're on fire, and that body says, well, you're going to lose everything, and you say, you know what, shut up. Let's just do this. It's not even going to have the same signal because there's a greater signature that's entraining the other one, and it's going to be a small-winded voice. Am I making sense? So when you change your beliefs, you change your energy. And when you change your energy, your field is bigger. And people go, did you get a new hairstyle? Did you shave your mustache? I mean, what's happening? Did you change something? No, I didn't change anything. Whoa, wow. You're different because your signature, your presence is arriving before you. So a big presence is an unlimited set of beliefs. Now, I'm telling you this because I don't want you to shrink to smallness when you leave here. I don't want you to be washed by your environment and talk yourself out of it because you got too busy, or, you had an ingrown toenail, or, your cable went down on TV, whatever it is that people find an excuse for. I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to settle for that. Because when you change your belief, it could happen in a moment. Because it's just a change in energy. And you make up your mind that those small-minded gut reactions that are connected to past memories are not going to constrain you in that paddock any longer. There's too many trails to ride, and too many places to go, and too many things to do. And when you leave that paddock and you look back at it and you say, how could I have spent all that time in that box? And you've just gone down all these trails and you look back at this place and you said, boy, it was wonderful leaving the Shire. It was wonderful going on an adventure. Yeah, and it was fit with challenges and opportunities. And I was afraid at certain moments, but I've never felt more alive. Now that is a life well lived. But at the end of your life, and you see your life and you see yourself in that box the whole entire time, you're going to have to do what? You're going to have to come back and do it again, wanting the opportunity to do that, to come to that moment where you're right at the gate. You'll negotiate it on a psychic level to come to that moment where you're right at the gate so you can make a different choice. So what is karma? You live in the past emotionally, you'll create more of the future. You memorize the emotion, anticipate a future moment to predict it because you're afraid of the next moment, so you have to be prepared for it. So you live in this linear time that activates the gene. And so people say, well, that's you have bad karma because you did this thing. Well, karma, the act of karma, is driven by an emotional propensity. How do you overcome your karma? How do you get off the wheel of the same lifetime? You just unmemorize the emotion. Does that make sense? So someone said, I was watching the little special on Buddha the other night. Let me see that on PBS. I mean, I mean, I was hoping for more, but it was good. But there was one thing that I really enjoyed, and as soon as I got it, I was done. They interviewed somebody, and they said, well, it's not like, you go in another lifetime, you're Cleopatra, or you're this. It's like you're doing 7th grade over and over and over again. That's what it's really like. Because the moment you move to another dimension of time and space and you look at yourself from a loftier perspective, you think, oh my God, I didn't get it right. I got to go back. I want to do it right. That is that element of us where we want to evolve. That's that connection to our soul. So, my final thought about this. Do you want to wait for tragedy now to make up your mind? You want to wait till you get so uncomfortable in your life that you can't go on, and you're so uncomfortable now that you can't go back to the familiar because you can't even go, there is no familiar to go back to because you're so uncomfortable. That's when people decide that they can't go on any longer and they decide to change. Now, you can do that in a state of pain. You can do that in a state of suffering. Or you can choose to wake up in the morning and do it in a state of joy, in a state of inspiration. But the only difference is that you have to bring that up on your own. You got to come out of your resting state. You got to get up in the morning and go, oh, I got to breathe? Oh, jeez. And then I got to take all this time and think about put my consciousness in the space where my nose is. Oh, my God. And then I got to work on being in the moment. I got too many things to do. I can't be in the moment now. I mean, I got the hardest life out of anybody I know. Which means I'm living in the selfish state of mind and body. That's what we do. But when you get up and you just change your energy and you're present with everybody and you see the light behind their eyes and you know you're connected to them and you begin to see things you never saw before and you have this tickle inside of you and you're living by that, you don't ever want to go back again. And then when the external world starts to organize itself as a result of what you've inhabited within you, and that mysterious thing happens, and you just keep, this is the most common thing people say, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on, but it's pretty exciting. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to analyze it. I just know things are getting really weird, and I love it. You're going to hop out of bed the next morning. You're going to be out of bed, sitting down, looking for the next opportunity like a kid going on a field trip the next day. Because you're looking forward to them. That's what we want to live by instead of dreading getting